Okay, and we are live. Welcome to the first edition of Pirk's View. And with me here, I have a very special guest. Alma, please introduce yourself.
Hi, Aaron. Hello to everyone. I'm pleased to be your first guest, and I wish you will have success on your new podcast.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
Alma Mashkulli. I'm a high school student at Gjon Buzuku Gymansium, and I'm also the head of the student council at this school, and also Aaron's friend. So I'm really pleased to be here with you, sharing some of my experiences.
I was really thinking about this. Like one night, I was just going, okay, if I ever start a podcast, I need to have Alma as a guest. Like, I feel like we have a lot to talk about since we've known each other for some time now, and we actually had to work together on a lot of projects, right?
Yeah, obviously. And I wondered, why did you just pick me as your first guest? And so you can explain this more.
Well, why I picked you as a first guest? Because I believe that you have directed many projects that were really successful, which I'll get into in a bit. And I think there's a lot to talk about from a team's perspective to be the head of such great projects, because I was fascinated by them. For example, we had the Awareness Month, the I Am a Gymnasist Week. These two projects alone just blew my mind. I couldn't believe that a few teenagers with a teenager as a leader could achieve this. I want to get into these as a bit because you said you're the head of the students council, right?
Yeah.
How did
Thank
you?
you, Aaron.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you for all these good opinions of yours.
Uh,
And yeah, we will be explaining all of them.
okay, how did you first get? How did you start this head of the students council thing? How did this happen?
Yeah, it was a long path to choose. And firstly, I was at the 10th grade at gymnasium, and I had no knowledge about student council or something else. But there were a science exhibition and or science fair. How you can name it whatever you want. And the head of student council was my friend, and she invited me to join that science fair. And I've done an experiment about making a vacuum cleaner from a plastic bottle, and then I have participated in that activity.
Wait.
After that,
You made a
yeah,
vacuum cleaner out of a plastic bottle. Please explain that
yeah,
because I really need to hear it.
yeah. Yeah, it's sounding weird, I know, but it's pretty simple. You can find it how to do it on YouTube. You just need a plastic bottle, you need some physics equipments, and when you put them and when you just move a little bit, it can be a plastic bottle can be transformed to a vacuum cleaner, and I can share a video of that with you.
Well, I actually need this vacuum cleaner. I really need this vacuum cleaner.
Okay, yeah,
Thank you for
yeah,
bringing
it's
this to
real.
my attention.
Yeah, this that has a really big importance on my thought, because everything started with that vacuum cleaner bottle. Because yeah, if I hadn't participated in that science fair, I wouldn't be informed about student council elections and all the others. Then me and Dehna, that she was the head of the student council,
The
she
old head.
introduced it me. Yeah, I just want to thank her about just joining me to the student council. And she had told me that the role of the student council, and she informed me about the elections that we will be held on December. And she said that I showing you that you have a great performance and you have the skills to just be a leader of the student council. So why don't you join just? And I was really thinking, I was in doubt about that, but just it came like a great idea into my mind. And then when I came home, I asked my mother and told her everything that was going on. After that, my mother said that, Alma, you are really busy with all the lessons and another activities, and I think that this will be a little bit too much for you.
She thought
And
it
I
would be
said, okay,
challenging.
yeah. And then I asked my head teacher, And she said the same words as my mother. They are really same with,
Adults.
they have really same opinions, yeah. And I said, okay, both of my really important persons are saying no to this. And I really like that I ask too many persons a lot of questions, but when it comes to decide, I decide on my own. And so when I thought, I said that, okay, Alma, this can be a really great opportunity for you to form opportunities for another persons. So why not? Why not trying? Why not pushing yourself further and just putting on too much to yourself? Maybe you can do it, or you have to do it. You don't have to think too much, I said to myself, and yeah, I decided to join them. We went out with Dehna. She was really like a cooperative person, and she told me her difficulties and everything else during the mandatory of the student council. After that, I have decided to just have my speech for the elections, and my speech was long, like one paper maybe. Maybe just I have listed some of the activities, but when I presented them to the students, they sound a little bit interesting, and I have just gathered the students' attention with them. So my first plan of everything was that school should not be just a place when you plan to go in the morning to spend just your 6 hours to finish your lessons and to can't wait to come back home. But a school should offer more places, more activities for students in order to just be more social, to collaborate with each other, and to do great works and great projects. So in my first speech, I have just said that there will be clubs, there will be groups of students interested in just one field, and after that we can do many projects. We can just address the requests and all of another students' difficulties and problems to the principal and everything else. I was just really confident in myself because I believed in those words that I said. So I've won the election and I became the head of the student council. All of this happened on 17th of December 2018.
This was back
So
in the first year in high school, right?
yeah, no, during the second year.
Oh yeah, during the second
I
year.
was in, yeah, I was in the 11th grade.
Okay, so the new back then, was it the old school principal or the new one, the new elected one?
Was the old school president.
Okay, the old
Yeah,
school principal, not a really good guy.
yeah,
Like I have to go on record saying that with him as principal, I didn't really enjoy school. New principal, this guy is amazing. I have to say, he has
yeah, of course.
he has given
Sorry, because
so.
I
Yes.
sorry for interrupting you. I misunderstood the word because in the year that I was chosen the head of the student council, it was the new principal also, and he is the biggest motivation source for the student council because I want to thank him in a formal way because he has supported us for every project that we had, and I totally agree with your opinion too.
He's like one of the best motivational figures ever because first of all, he's a musician, which, coming from me, I'm a musician as well. I play guitar. Just being able to
Yeah,
talk to him about music has just inspired me. We had this meeting, you were present, about the starting of the music group or the school band, and he was present. We were
yeah,
there for almost 2 hours, and I wasn't bored a single second. The guy cracked jokes, the guy inspired us, and he asked us to play with him. Literally the next weekend, we didn't know this actually, we were supposed to go on rehearsals. He was there, he was present. I didn't know he was coming. So he just asked us, okay, I'm gonna get one guitar for myself because you guys have your instruments. And he asked us to jam. We literally jammed with him for like an hour and a half. It was one of the best moments ever in that school because, like, not just me, but every student has this figure in their heads where they think, okay, school is just a place we go, we learn, we have to get grades. But going to school on a Saturday evening and just jamming with the school principal just opened my eyes. And that was the moment when I said, oh my God, school is not just some place where you have to get grades and just deal with people all day. School is a place where you can express yourself with like different activities, maybe music, and that was just amazing. So can you please tell me your experience with working with this new principal?
Yeah, Ron, I want just to say that we are really lucky that we have a principal like him. You have just explained one chance to you to work with him. He's really open-minded, and the fact that he is musician, that he really knows what student wants and really understands the student needs to have more activities, and so he has supported us for every activity. He is really positive person, and even when things didn't go well in the way that we have planned, he always said that it doesn't matter, you can do it, you can do better, and everything else. Of course, there were other problems and things like this requests that he knows when to say no and when to say yes. He really knows how to do that, and I really like it because he's principal, and he have to make right decisions. So I feel lucky that we have worked with him because he really became an inspiration for the student council for many activities. For example, you mentioned the week Unyam Gymnasist. The week Unyam Gymnasist was his idea. And the week Unyam Gymnasist has the biggest importance of all the activities, because in this week we have started like a student council. We have just like coordinated more than 100 students in 5 different activities that we have organized them day by day during a week. So this was his idea. Then posting and having the pages in social medias in Facebook and Instagram, this was his idea too. He had just pushed us to just make a lot of photos during the activities and just post them in order to be inspiration and just to tell the others that student can do these things. And by posting just things in social media, we also just informed another students to join us, to join the clubs, to join the activities, and to be more aware of the existence and of the organizing form of the student council. He has really big contributes to the student council, and I'm always really thankful to him.
See, I think one thing that differentiates him from other principals before him, he knows what a student wants. For example, you mentioned
Yeah.
I am a gymnasist week. He also took part in renovating the school library. I want to get into that because the school library has been the place where most of the activities were held. And in my opinion, if he wasn't the one who started it, with some other professors, of course, there maybe wouldn't be a place where those activities would be held. Could you elaborate more on that? Like, how did this happen? How did the library get renovated from an old archives room?
Yeah, Ron, thank you for reminding me this point because I have forgotten the main point and main contribute that he did to us. I said that I was elected to be the head of student council on December. So my work started on January, but on January had no school. There was just holiday and stuff like that, and we have started from February. So during the February, we have organized the week Unyam Gymnasist, and after that, we just organized clubs and stuff like that. So during this month, from January to June, like a student council, we have proven that students can cooperate with each other, can be together to do something great, to do something creative, and to just serve and be just like an inspiration for another students. And this gave also the principal the motivation and the thought that we as a student council should have a place to be together with students and to organize another activities. Because when I just compare the first period of my mandatory and the second period of it during the 12th grade, we have organized twice more activities than in the first part. And the main reason is that now we have the library, we have the student council's office or room or whatever to say, and this is the main main element that just pushed us and that gave us the opportunity of organizing many different activities. So he was really just really motivated, and he made up his mind to just make or to make the library that will serve to students a place to go and read, a place to go and talk with each other, a place to go and organize activities. So the place of library was really important because when I first heard that, because I was not informed that something like this is happening, we have understood that it was a surprise for us on September when we get back to school, and I was just shocked and really happy. I remember that I was really, really happy, and a lot of ideas come to my mind. And I said, okay, now we have all the things that we want. Now there are no excuses to just not organize activities. And in that way happened. We organized the Awareness Month when a group of 30 students have been active during 1 month organizing day by day activities. So the place of library became also a really great inspiration for us, because we have worked for 1 month to just form the database of our library. And this is really just an important place, because there are students that have the desire, that have the just that motivation, that to spend more hours on school, even if they have finished their lessons for that day. So as a student council, I remember that for organizing the library, the books and all the stuff like that, I have just thought in myself that if I want just to request from another students to spend their time in school, maybe 2 hours in a day, for just making the library all just like focusing on organizing the books and all the stuff like that requires to the library, then I have to start from myself. So what did I do? On one Saturday when I was free, I just went to school alone, and I took the just permission to go there. The school was open, and I spent maybe 5 hours organizing like 200 100 books, yeah. And I've taken photos and all the stuff like that. After that, on Monday, when just we were on a break, I told my friends, like, yeah, I have spent this Saturday on school. I've organized the books. I've listened to music while organizing them. That was a really great physical activity for me. I've relaxed a lot, and I will go every day. If you want to find me every day, I'm going to be at the library after we finish the lessons. Who wants to join me? Just come with me. And they were really just like surprised how and they asked me from why do you have that energy, why are you doing these things? I said it's pretty simple, because I have to do them, because we have to help each other and do something great for that we serve for each other. So I've just realized that I had a team of maybe 20 students that every day, but just not being the students were different. For example, a student came and just worked for one day, maybe 2 hours, helped us, and then he came after 1 week, because we don't want just to go on too much on students. And the success was that we have organized our library for just 3 weeks, and now we have an electronic database of the library, and we have published the list on our website, school's website, and we have informed the students, by the video, that we have the library. You can come and have books for free on them. And I work as a volunteer. I'm just is my responsibility to take care of the library, and it was a really just enjoyable experience for me. And if I come back to the first point of beginning, if the library was not restored, it was not just like given as an opportunity for the principal, then none of these activities would be possible to organize.
See, I find that really amazing because most of our teachers, they give us books to read. And me as a student, whenever I hear you have to read the book, you have to commentate on it, I'm like, where am I gonna find this book? Like, oh my god, I have to go through the pain of going to the city's library. If the book is not there, I maybe have to find it online. If it's not online, I have to buy it online and have it shipped here. It just takes a lot of time. When I first saw this, I was like, wait. The school has a library. Like, okay, fine. But then I see that there are, like, how many books did you say there are? Like, approximately?
Approximately maybe 2,500 books, but they are classified in the languages.
Yes.
Like there are Bosnian books, Turkish books, but for Albanian books, maybe there are 1,200 titles, and
So
there have come new titles too.
I wanted to get to that. They're also like classified in languages. So I personally can go get a book because lately I've been into reading a lot. Like I can go get a book, read it and return it. Like in school grounds. That is amazing because like
Yeah,
everybody has free periods or breaks, and what's better than going to read at the school library? Like you don't have, for example, if you have nothing to do, you're feeling down, maybe you just don't want to go out, maybe you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, like having that library to go and read a book is one of the best things ever. Plus it's free, one, it's within school grounds, and third, you can do it like anytime you want because the school is also open. Like that's the thing. That's the beauty of it. Because it's not just open for like books and stuff. It's open for like for every activity. With like this year, the start of the 12th year, I think the school just has a different vibe, you know? Because when I go to school, I see it as a place where I get to meet my friends, get to learn something new and develop it, maybe get a few grades along the way, whatever. And after school, this is the best part. There are always activities. You can either
yeah,
you can either start your own activity, like we've started the band and such, we've had your support and the principal support, or you can
yeah,
participate in other students' activities, or even you could just go and watch an activity, like that's allowed. That is amazing. I have to say, like one day we had rehearsals for the school day show, which sadly didn't happen because coronavirus, and we didn't have a place to rehearse. And they called me. They said, "Okay, we're having this art activity where we have to paint," and they said that we could like rehearse there. There wouldn't be a problem. So I go there, pick up my guitar, pick up my amplifier, and then I just see a bunch of students painting. I'm like, oh my god, like they're gonna hate me for bursting out music into their ears. But the professor who was there, she was really nice. I have to say, the art professor, she's really nice. She's an understanding person. And then I just asked her, like, would you mind if I took this student and rehearsed with her? She said, no, not at all. Like, you can also enjoy the paintings that we made today. You can rehearse, and actually you can bring our mood up with your music and all. And I was like, wow. Like when we started rehearsing, the students stopped, gathered by us, and started listening to us. The amount of positivity and the amount of good support and good feedback I got was amazing. I have to say, it started like with your small work, and it just expanded. Like every student I see has something in their mind, like whether it is a technological activity, for example, whether it is art, music, whatever. Like I think you inspired students to start their own activities, to see school as a way to grow, not just a way to get grades and leave, go home. And see, I wanted to get to that. The awareness month, one of the biggest projects. I have to say, I am mind blown. When I first heard of this awareness month, I participated in every single activity. Like I couldn't wait to finish class so I could come and participate in these activities. Would you care to elaborate, like how did this start?
yeah, Ron. I'm really, really just like feeling happy that for hearing these things from you. So before getting to Awareness Month, I'm really just like at the first, I'm coming back to the first point. I have just said to myself that you are not successful until there are students that come to you and say, we have we just thought to organize that activity. Can we do that? I have that problem. How can we solve it? And so that we have achieved that. There are students that, like you, that expresses their ideas, because your idea was, and Vigan's idea was, to form the music band of school. There are many talented students that you said, because we have also the art club. I've done an amazing job. Either they have organized an exhibition for art exhibition for the awareness month. Then the mathematician club, we have organized the math week. It was a really great week where we can talk for it later. I don't want to just jump from topic to topic. And I can, even if I'm the guest today, the reason of my success is just the cooperation and the opportunities that we just as a student council gave to another students. If we come to awareness month, I have just thought, because in the beginning we had many criticism or another responses from professors. Why are you not organizing? We want just to be aware of many topics or something else. So I thought that, okay, we can just include all of the topics that we need to be aware of in just 1 week. So the plan was that to be the awareness week. But after that, I have thought that, okay, now we are just graduating. We are just to a little bit left to finish high school. So we can do something bigger. We can do something when we can express more ideas and have more creativity. So at the beginning of October, I think, or November, I don't know, we have just held the meetings with the head of classes. So I've organized different meetings, first with the head of 10th classes, then with 11 ones, and then with the 12th ones. So in our meetings, I have presented to them the idea of the awareness week. And the head of 12 classes, they have said that, okay, they have just mentioned some of the activities that we can do. And there were a lot. I can just remember myself trying to listen to them, and just my hand was moving so fast to write down just the titles of the activities that are mentioning. There were a lot. There were just amazing, expressing everything that they want. And we have just the meeting was held in one of the classes. We hadn't moved yet in the library. So the idea began with them. We thought that, okay, when I presented them to the principal, he said that, okay, that's really great. But when I was just listing the activities that we are going to do, on that date, this activity, on that date, this activity, he said, okay, are you saying them for all the year, or will you include them just in 1 month? I said, no, we are going to do it for 1 month. Okay, he just stopped and said, but this is really just hard to achieve and to organize. I said, it doesn't matter. We are student council. If I don't have time or don't have the opportunity to join the activity or to organize the activity. There are other students that are also have skills, and we have to do it. We have planned and we will do it. So we had a lot of meeting with these students. I remember one day I was real sick. I was poisoned by something and spent my night in the hospital. But on tomorrow's day, we have our final meeting on just concretizing everything that we have to do about the awareness month. And I remember that I just slept for 2 hours. I was better, of course. And I wore my uniforms. And my mom, when I saw me, she said, okay, you are joking, right? I said, no, I'm going to school. She said, okay, Alma, that's too much. Please go and sleep. You don't have to go. I said, no, I have to go because we have planned to do it, and no excuses. We have to organize it. And when I get to school, my friends also said, okay, why did you come? I said, no, we have to start on next week. We have planned like this. And the awareness month had too many just like benefits, too many good points. But the main thing that lost till today is that the group that formed, organized the activities, and gave the meaning of the Awareness Month. We have a group on social media, and we have really became friends with each other.
Yeah.
So it's a really great cooperation with all of the classes. So the idea of Awareness Month showed us to just have a link of different classes of different students, because we have been used to just go to school and just to have friends of our classes, to have just not more than 30 friends, maybe, if you are a shy person, if you are not really sociable. And the Awareness Month show us to have friends from all of the classes, to have just an option to go and to ask for something, to discuss about the lessons, to organize, to ask for help, and to discuss really meaningful topics and everything else. That's the most beautiful part of the Awareness Month. If you come to the formal plan of just how did we realize, the Awareness Month was planned to just be scheduled for 4 weeks, and every week had a main topic, and all the activities organized was just related to that topic. The first week's topic was career planning, and we have done a really great activities. That was maybe the best week of Awareness Month. We have cooperated also with the parents of the school. We have visited just businesses that can offer us, and there were businesses of our students' parents, and they share their career story with us, many advices, and a lot of things. We have visited the hospital. We have talked with lawyers and something else. The idea was that students can meet a lot of professionals in order to just get more options of thinking which profession to choose, to be known just with the work they do, with the conditions that they work, and with their own life experience. So we have organized we have known also with the Busula platform of knowing more professions that is held by the ministry, and that was a really great week. After that week, the topic of the second week was about stress. So we have just psychologist Sabina Dishalari was really like helping us a lot on that topic, because she was really open-minded. She just came to us and say, okay, we can do that. We have done the she had just teach to us how to meditate, how to just be not too many stressful. We have watched documentaries from BBC about how stress affects our life, and how we are stressing ourselves without the need of being stressful, and topics like that. So it was more a relaxing week than the first one, because in the first one we have just really worked too much, but in the second one was more relaxing and more with energizers and activities due to them. So the third week's topic was our rights. We were talking more about the students' rights. We have cooperated with KUTS, that is Kosovo Youth Council, and they came from Pristina to just represent their material about the students' rights. We have discussed about that topic. Then the best day that I really don't remember when I felt happier than I was that day. So it was Saturday, and you were also at school, Laron. I remember, because your music brand was just being
Rehearsing.
ready
Oh
for
yeah,
different songs.
we were
Yeah, do you
supposed to
remember that?
close. Yeah, we were supposed to
Yeah,
close the awareness. I'll get to that in a bit. Okay, I remember this
yeah.
day.
And do you remember that in the school were nearly 40 students that had uniforms, and
Yeah,
that
actually.
was, yeah, that they were divided in three groups. One group was realizing a video about awareness. Another group was having a training from Theo about human rights, and the third group was you, the musician band, that were practicing for the ending ceremony of the Awareness Month. So I really felt amazing that day, because it's Saturday. You have 40 students that have shown the desire to come to school. They were with uniforms, and we were having a really a great time. So it was just like unbelievable that that happened, and I just really want that to this to be just continued in also in somewhere or something else sometime else. And the fourth week of the awareness month was about more the phenomena or the topics that were related to our own life. So using maybe smoking, using narcotics, just bullying, and something else. So all of that was due to just be aware of things that really just are part of our lives and are just having a negative impact on them. So after we finished the fourth week of awareness month, the idea was that we will really just use with each other. We will really use to go after finishing lessons, to go to the library, be together, and just start with the activity. And so we decided to just continue the awareness month for 1 week more. And so the awareness month became 5 weeks, not just 4 weeks. And in the 5 week, we have also talked about Albanians, about our nationality. We have organized exhibition of art. Then it was the ending ceremony of the awareness month when all of the certificates, the honors were given to the students, and also it was the performing of the musician band.
See,
So it was a yeah,
I was really pissed about one thing. Both me and Vigan weren't able to participate. I was really
yeah.
sick. Like 2 days before the ending ceremony, I was really hyped up. Like I remember the only thing that was in my head was okay, I'm gonna play this, I'm going to play this, I'm going to do this. And then I got sick. I was, no joke, laying in my bed. I couldn't even get up. And I just remember feeling so depressed because I had been working for over a month. And remember, we were in France for like a week. We coordinated practices from France. Like we told them, meet there, like meet here, gather around, practice these songs. We coordinated from France. And it just shows how much students are willing to work. And when I got sick, I couldn't get out of my bed. I was really depressed. Like the one thought in my head was like, why today? It could have been one day after the performance. It could have been during the performance, but I just got sick now. And I just remember like texting my cousin because he's in the school band as well. He's a good guitarist, by the way. And I just remember texting him, telling him, okay, I won't be able to make it. Like, there is no way to put it lightly. I won't be able to make it. So I just tell them, okay, like you guys know your songs, you know, because we practiced our contingency plan. Like if one guitarist went missing, there was always someone else who knew his parts. So I just told them, okay, you know my parts, just take my lead, you know? And I just remember watching the video of the performance. I was like, wow, we were able to coordinate such a good performance, even without me and Vigan being present. That was the thing that actually made me happy. Like when I got back to school, I got so much good feedback from professors, from students. Even though I didn't perform, like they knew I was in the school band. They knew I won't say like in charge, but I was a representative because I used to skip classes telling them I'd go to practice. And most of the teachers knew that me, as Aron Pirko, I was in the school band. And they gave me such good feedback. Like, you have no idea. You have no idea how much good feedback I got. And later, I was actually contacted by the music teacher, who was a huge mentor. He helped us. He found a place for us, a regular place for us to rehearse. He found equipment and gear for us to rehearse, and he was just a great support. He found us, he just brought more light into an ongoing performance, if I can't say that. And the thing I want to get to is the awareness month has been such a great experience. I was able to meet so many good people. You have no idea. Like from every class. Now I have more places to go and steal homework from. You have no idea. And I just am in contact with a lot of those people, and a lot of those people are actually really supportive. Like not just as friends, but for this podcast as well. Like most of the people who gave me support were people from the people I met in the awareness month. They were just giving me tips like tricks and stuff, and it was really great. I remember in meetings where only the heads of classes came to discuss stuff, I just sneak past and just join in so I could like feel the vibe, you know? I was so used to having this huge circle, a lot of people sharing their ideas, and I was just like, wow. I remember we had like one activity. I don't know whose idea was it. I think it was yours, right? The student professor debate.
Yeah. No, it was not mine. It was Dialon's idea.
Yeah, okay, makes sense because he's really good at debating. This was
Yeah.
amazing. It finally gave us a way to be equal to our professors, and I think that the professors took our feedback really well. I was able to see like improvements in like not just their way of
Yeah.
grading, but their way of explaining stuff as well. Like they knew what we wanted. Like obviously it wasn't perfect, but it was a really good start.
Yeah, it was a really good start because we have chosen professors that are maybe we thought the professors were chosen by votes, but we have thought that they are more just like understanding the student psychology and stuff like that. And this was a really great message for another professors, and they would just like I've seen in them in their faces that they really want to join us to organize more debates and to be able talking to students during not the lesson but during after the lessons in a more like in a free way. So Aaron, yeah, it was a pity that that day you were just sick, and I know the situation, but you were really successful like a band, because even without you and without Wigan, because you were like the head of the musician band, you were the first one pushing on others, and just you have just organized the meetings and the practice classes and everything else, even on Saturdays, on Sundays, and it was really a big like it was not great that you were not present because of the situation, but I hope that you really enjoyed that because they were really amazing. They performed very well. They were really coordinating, and so don't feel bad about that, because your presence, just your presence of organizing, of just motivating them, was present that day. So you were in here in some meaning.
You know, I really hope we get to get our show because it was canceled due to the coronavirus. I really hope we get our show because we have so much planned. You have no idea how nice it's going. Like I really want you to see it, you know? I really, really want not just you but the whole students to see it because I have a lot of support from a lot of good singers, a lot of good guitarists, and it's amazing. I really hope we get to have the show.
Okay, we can. I hope it too, but it's like it depends on the situation, because it's a situation but when no one can say you will be back in school in that day or in that day, because the situation can get even better or can get worse.
Nothing is
So
certain.
it's really important just to think in a positive way, to hope to things to improve in the proper way. But I think that even if we just can't come back to school, we can organize a show like as as we graduate from high school. Why not?
Yeah, I remember we were talking about this. And speaking of like the music group, I want to get into this as well. I think that after the awareness month, it just started as a phenomenon. Like school groups were being created. Maths group, chess club, like career club, debates club, which I also participate in. Like that was amazing, you know? Like after the awareness month, it just blew off students' minds so much that they started making groups. And I think we got second place in like chess competition. Was it second place?
Yeah, second place in national level
See,
in Kosovo.
in national level, like our students
Yeah.
got the second place. Like that
Oh
is
my God.
amazing.
About Yeah, talking about chess is my favorite thing, and especially for chess club because I have something to say about principle at this point. Because chess, when I first started, I said my first speech just listing the activities, the clubs that we were forming, and in the list was also the chess club because I wanted that students. Just beginning from myself, I really like chess, but I don't have something to play in my home. Like, I play with my brother, with my sister, but it's not the same when you play with someone that is in the same age with you, because you just understand their strategy, you have to learn too much from them and stuff like that. So I have presented the idea to the principal. He said to me that okay, we can buy chess tables. It not that we don't have materials or something else, but the professors and the students are used to just disuse the chess tables, playing with them during the breaks, and also this is not a great idea if they just take more of their break, being late for lessons just while playing chess. So I don't give permission to buy them. And I was really like thinking, oh my God, okay, I have now to just tell him the arguments that we really need to have a chess club. And I remember it was 5 months that even once a month I've gone to him and said, "Are we buying the chess tables?" And the same answer, no, and the same reason. And because the reason was right, okay. But I said to him that okay, we as a student council, we have all the responsibility, and even if one problem happens or something else, I'm responsible of it. We students are responsible, and you can take them back. And in the end of 5 months, we have both the chess tables after the library was made, and this was the first step of just forming the chess club. I have known that there were a lot of chess players, and during just planning how to buy the chess tables, I have played chess with a lot of students just because I had to know if there are students, if there are or not students playing chess in our school. So if we went on picnics with group students, because we have done many activities, and after doing a successful activity, we have just we go to picnics or do something, an activity in common. So in picnics, I remember with Andre that is a really great student, and they were just doing the picnic, the stuff like that, being prepared for to prepare food or something else. And me and Andre were playing just one chess game for 1 hour. And when we realized that the food is being just consumed by all of them, they have started eating, they are talking, they are just singing, and we have just got stuck in the chess table. And we said, okay, please don't, because the game was moving on. We can, I think that we could spend more than 1 hour maybe in that game, because really we were thinking a lot, and we were really great, both of us. So after playing with Indri, playing with a lot of students, I know the situation that there are really great chess players. Then we did the announcement to another students, another chess players. We have done the meetings, and I saw that there are really great students playing chess. So when it comes to the championships, okay, I said there is the chance to just prove our chess club. And I can't say that we really exercised a lot with each other, because the chess club was formed in the end of November, and the championships were held in just like on December, I think, on 14 December. And first of all, we just went on competition with Suareka. Was Prizren versus Suareka. And it was important to win the game in group. We were 6 players, 4 boys, 2 girls, and if we go 3-3, the students that is staying in the first table, if he has won, then the school wins also. So it was a really just like complicated structure of winning the game, but we won the game, the first game, and I was really excited because I was the last one. My game lost it too much, and another competitor of mine with whom I was playing was a really great chess player, but she was not really structured, and I was really thought I have made the strategy of just having chess and winning the game, but there then came a moment when everybody is just like made around us, around our table, and was just watching to us. It was too many attention, and I don't like attention when I play a game. It gave me pleasure. It gave me pressure. So at one moment, I just was making a movement when before just touching the figure of the figure, I realized that okay, if I move that in that way, I will lose the game. So everything was ready, but also the another competitor was really ready to just win the game. And oh my god, I'm really just like thankful that in that moment I realized that, and I just blocked her movement. And I saw, when I look back in the students of our school, they said, "Oh my God, you were really losing, and if you have lost, then our school team was just we can't won the game."
You'd be
So
disqualified.
in the yeah, and the first chapter was done, the first step. In the second one, we have gone to Ferizai, and we have played with all another schools. It was a long day. We have played for 8 hours, and so first we have won against Pea, then we have won against Pristina. In the final stage was Gilan, then we lose to Gilan. So we got the second place in the national competition.
And you know,
Yeah, that was just, we can do another meeting for talking about chess, because in that day that the final championship was held, they were really really attractive and adventures that we just experienced, because we were losing winning, and it was really unforgettable experience of mine.
after you came back from the championship, I remember the very next day. Like, I just vividly remember, like, coming to see you and coming to see a few friends that were in the competition. Like, I was just so happy. You have no idea. I've never been this happy about a school activity, but I really was happy about your success. You remember, like, a few of my friends were in the library. We had the free period, and they just said, okay, we're just gonna play chess for fun. And I remember you coming in, and you asked to play chess with a few of the guys, and I just remember just screaming, "Hey, congratulations! Like, you did it! Oh my god!" I just remember screaming. And I remember the professor walking in, and she said, "Is everything okay?" And I just had to explain to her, like, "I'm sorry, I was just really hyped up, you know?"
I've forgotten that.
And see, that's the thing. It just inspires students, even at this time of the pandemic. Like, we've had organized clubs online. Like, we had the debate. Remember, we were judges in the
Yeah,
debate,
yeah, we are organizing them.
and it was really supportive. Like, I've gotten a few texts even from that. Like, the students asked to have more debates, and I'm planning on having another debate as well. To be honest, it's really worth
Of
it.
course, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
we can
also
organize it, of course.
I also wanted to get, because we mentioned the math club. I have a lot of
Yeah.
friends who are really good at math. I have a professor who makes you love math. And when I heard that there was a math week coming up, I was excited. Not because I was participating, but because I could see the excitement on the professors' faces and the students' faces. Tell me, how was that organized? Like, what happened? What was so huge about this? Because I remember it being a big deal.
Yeah. The maths week was totally an idea of our from our meetings of the student council. And we have thought that students should know more each other, and should know that who's great in math, and should be able to come as a group and just like exercise with each other, and have more just like knowledge and everything else that the work of just being in a group can give you. So the math week was held on, I think, in the end of May of last year. It comes just 1 year that we have organized it, and it was also day by day activities during a week. So in Albanian it was called like Java e Matematikësjentëve. Firstly of all, on the just the announcements that were given to the head of the classes, we have just a request for the names of the students that want to participate in the group of mathematicians. And all the point of all these activities is to give the students the opportunity to participate in activities without asking him the grades, without having the pressure and everything else. And I remember that in the maths week, not everyone that participated had 5 in maths or was the best in math. I remember from my own friend. And this became a really inspiration. She said, okay, she said, I don't like math, but I participated in that weekend. I really have a different perspective of just valuing the math. In the activities, the first activity, and I remember to be, it was one of my happiest moments during this mandatory. In the first one, I have just prepared a presentation about p, that is a really important and mysterious number in math. There were a lot of facts that we don't know about p number, like having milliard decimals and numbers including in it. So first of all, we had a short presentation of p number. Then we have the p memory of, I can say it,
Memorizing.
memorizing game. Okay, sorry. And in the p memorizing game, in the students were to the students were given some just letters with the p number, and there were, I think, 100 numbers after the p. They had the time of 20 minutes just to memorize them and to write down to another letter. And the one that memorized more numbers, the numbers also should have been correct, were just be as called as the best memorization of the school. So in that game, in that just activity, one student for 20 minutes has memorized all of the numbers written in the letter, 100 numbers.
Wait,
And
100 numbers.
yeah, for 20 minutes.
I need to know that I need to meet this guy so he can help me cheat on
Yeah,
my exams.
yeah, and it
I
was
need that.
unbelievable. Yeah, it was unbelievable for all of us because we were shocked. And I said, okay, I said, you have all of this correct. We have corrected them in front of all the students that were participating. And I know that he hasn't copied or something else, because there were no phones and there were just silence, use silence, and everyone had just seen what others done. So he has just memorized for real them. And I requested him, can you say just 20 if you have them in your mind? And he started saying them like it was a poetry. 1, 2, 3, 7, 6, 7. Okay, I said, thank you for being here. And now you are the best in that game for our school. It was really just enjoyable for me and really meaningful for me, because that activity gave students the opportunity of feeling, of discovering, of knowing much more the talent that he had on memorizing, and giving them the inspiration of just memorizing more. And he also, I remember that he felt really great. There were also really great students. For example, I remember that in the second place was the students with 80 numbers, after 80 numbers of p. Then the third one was with 55 numbers of p. And it was really just like tiring, just focusing, because we have seen every we have managed all of that responses from students, seeing that are they correct, how many numbers he has memorized, which of them are correct, which not, the percentage of success, and everything else. In this the activity of second day, the idea was to socialize, to just socialize the students that are great in math and that don't love math. So this opportunity gave the students the chance just to be in group and exercise about math lessons that were not clear to them, so we can better understand from each other. And it was a really great activity. But I have seen in that students feel more just like are not just open to show them that they are not great in math or something else. So we have really to work on that point. But with the time, this perspective of them has changed. In the third day, I was not just present in the third day because I have to apply for a really important appointment in Pristina. And so I remember that one of the students, Ermal, said that okay, you can go. Then I can organize it with Amphora, that is also a really important member of the student council. And both of them organized an activity. It was a logical game, there were a lot of logical just problems in math, and the idea is to discuss about that logical and to give the solutions to that problems. So it went really well. The fourth day was the most special day when a group of us went to elementary school, and for one day we have taught math lessons to the students that are in the first grade. So I remember we took with us too many like games, maybe cards, maybe something else in math, and we have done many energizing activities with them. Also the teachers were really feeling like pleasured and say, okay, congratulations, we have done a really great job. It's a really great activity to just give the students that opportunity of meeting with you and of taking their time with you. So it was a really great experience. And the fifth day was the closing of the math week, and we had discussed about a documentary from BBC that is math discovered, or is it invented? And we have also showed our prospects of just valuing the number of zero, what zero means. Does it have a value or not? And then we have just are the honors, are the percentages of and our opinions or on how the week has gone. So that was the end of the math week. It was a really great experience, and I really hope that I really just wish to have another opportunity of organizing it. But I think that we didn't have that for me personally, because I hope that student council also will have a hearing board, and everything else. The activities will be organized the same as we have organized. And I really hope that this activity continues to be organizing year per year.
And see, that is what I like. Like you organized activities for every type of student. So because mostly in school you're taught to only learn the 14 different subjects that the teachers teach. You're taught to get good grades. You're taught to be good at everything. You made students feel special in a way because there was chess competition, there was a math competition, a music group, an art group. Like you let students focus on what they love. And not even that, like when you said you went to teach math to kids, I see that as really positive because it's just going as a teenager, as a high school student, to another school to meet children, to have them taught by you. Basically, students teaching students. I think it makes it more likable for the kids, because you see students, you see them and you think, okay, this is where I'll be in 10 years. Like in 10 years maybe I'll even come and teach some other kids, and that is just so positive. I bet the kids love that. Like I swear, because some of the guys I know who are part of the students council, they're really good and they're really social. Like they can make the most boring things fun, including you actually. Like seriously.
Thank you.
And I also wanted to talk about this. We are also stuck, you can say, in this quarantine because of the whole coronavirus pandemic thing. Everybody knows. What activities have you been able to host online?
Yeah. During this situation, we have just not stopped our activities. We have done firstly, we have started with a reading club and organize some debates about the books that we are reading during this period, and talking doing some energizers and talking about like different books that we have read in order to share our experiences. So the first activities was were with that group, and we have started this like 1 week after the situation began, or I can say just in the start we have started also with the online activities. After that, an idea came to my mind that why don't we organize online debates? Like we have students that are really great in discussing and sharing their opinions and everything else, and we really need we have the debate club, but we need more students and more activities. So we have organized maybe 2 or 3 debates with different topics. In the first one, we have talked about intellectual values. In the second one, we have talked about global warming. And in the third one, I don't remember exactly what was, but I think that the next topic will be that should people be allowed to have gun to carry guns or not?
That was
And
really
I can't
voted.
wait.
That was really
Yeah,
voted. Like the students
yeah,
wanted to talk about this, and I'm excited for
yeah,
that actually.
yeah. And we can organize it during this week or whenever the students are just capable of joining the debate. And I can say that you had a really great contribute to that, because you had just asked me and gave us the opportunity of organizing the debates in Discord, because you had experience, and I really want to thank you in that point, because you helped us a lot to have a more structured and organized debate structure. After that, we have also had 2 virtual meetings with the head of the classes to discuss about the online learning system, and to discuss about our difficulties and everything else. And they went pretty good. They lasted more than 2 hours, because we had a lot of to discuss, a lot of points, and a lot of other things. And so I think that this gave the students the opportunity to express their situation during the online learning system. After that, with the career club, we have started to organize online meeting with the professionals of different fields. We have started with a doctor that was also that graduated from Gymnasium Buzuku, and he's now just a doctor in Germany. So the beauty of the activity was that it was really meaningful, because he was in Germany, we in Kosovo. He was also a student in our school, and he felt really like great on just meeting us and sharing his experiences with us. And the next one that we will be organizing, our guest will be Armen Shabani. That is one of the best mathematicians in Kosovo. So I think that we will be realizing it on Wednesday or on Thursday. So tomorrow or on Thursday. So it's great. We
So
can do more activities, of course. They can be more, but I'm just continuing to sharing the links, the announcements of activities that are not organized by the student council, but also by another ones. So it's going on that way. If we have more cooperation and more another things, we can also have more activities. But I think that students are really just like busy with homework and everything else, and having day by day activities can give them a great just like chance to participate. But also it's really important that to have activities on the time when student needs them. And another things that we are planning, we have started with some of the students. We just think to be like Unyam Gymnasist Week, to be Unyam Gymnasist Challenge maybe. Then one students, for example, you can record yourself during playing on guitar or something else, and you can share this video during our social pages on our school pages with another students, telling like how you spent your free time during this situation. So I have requested from some of the students, and they said that okay, we will do it. And now they sent me the videos of them. So after just publishing the first videos, every student will be able to send their videos if they want, and we can post it. So it can be a really great motivational, uh, just series of videos coming from students.
See, I want to thank you for that. Like, actually, your participation and your contribution has just been crucial in the student success, because you've not only inspired like me as a student, but you've inspired countless amounts of students. And first of all, I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank you for coming to this podcast, being my first guest, because the theme of my podcast in very own is teen success, teen stories, teen experiences. And I think that you have a lot to share, and you've shared a lot of it today. Like, I mean it. Like, most of this stuff, like, I knew, but there were some details which just missed my eye and my ear. And now I know them, and now I'm like, oh my God, there is so much more to this. And I really want to thank you for both of these things. And lastly, I want to ask you something. Do you have any words of encouragement to our audience? Because most of them are teens, basically. Do you have any words for them?
Yeah, I don't thank you very much for all of these words and for inviting me, because it's really great. I really love sharing my experiences and everything else. The reason that you can just define this mandatory as a success is just because not of just me as personal, but as working in a group. It's a success of all of us. So your contribution, other student contribution, just made the student council. So I can't say that it was my individual success or something else. We have made it together. So it's a really important point, because without you, nothing would be just successful, or nothing would be organized or something else. Just my duty was that just to encourage and to start, because starting is elementary. If you start, then you have the option of just continuing going on and adding too much into your road. So I think that this success, I'm not talking as Alma, I'm talking as the voice of student council, because talking as Alma, it can be different topics or different another things that I would wanted to add. So for motivational things, or something that I've shared with my audience, is that for everything, based on the situation, I have thought a lot personally these days about my profession, studying, and everything else. I could say that you should do really the things that you love. I have never, when it comes to emotions, I've never thought about loving something. So I think that if you love the thing that you do, then there are no borders for you. There are no difficulties. There is the source of energy is from the love of the things that you do. So please choose the things you love. Choose the things that you are not just being bored of spending time doing them. Because if you spend time in that way with the things that you enjoy, that your time is not spent. And also you could have many just like questions in your mind. You maybe are just thinking what I'm doing, what is my profession, how to get that motivation, how to do that. I think that you have to forget everything and just to start, to make a great start, because it's never late. I say also to my friends, if you are feeling just guilty with yourself that you didn't do your best, you didn't give all of you, all from you for your future, then it's never too late. You have to start. Start by learning a book. Start by just reading a success story. Start by helping your mom. Start by just tidying your room. Just get a great start to your day and plan that the time is yours, the opportunities are yours, and you just need to act to that. And thinking in that way really helps you focusing on the things that have a real importance to your life. I could say that there are a lot of people, even I have talked also only for the successes of the activities. There were also the background of them, of organizing them, of everything else. But that those backgrounds were really just not hard to feel or to do, but there were just like some difficulties that affect it. But don't let the background of things to affect you, to just stop you. You have to stop them. You have to just disagree with the background voices. That's the importance, and that's the first step of being successful in the job, in the work, or even in everything that you aim to do. So there will be people they say okay, because I have just experienced that there are people say okay, you don't need to be to get tired, nobody knows, all of this will be just forgettable for a day, everyone will forget, no one will regret or will thank, or these are just stupid things. Don't think about them, because everyone, if you just clean some road, if you just make available a road to walk for a lot of people, then you will be the leader of that road. And being a leader doesn't mean to just being the boss. The leader is the one who starts the things. So see the things in that way, and just give the proper chance to yourself to express yourself and your ideas. Be free to just talk to someone, and be free to ask someone if you think that they hate you or don't like you, why don't you like me, or why you hate me, or something else. So don't be afraid of just communicating, of talking to people, because this just limits your life. So feel free, feel positive with the nature, with your family, with your just friends. And I'm really happy that you gave me the possibility of just expressing all of this and sharing with your audience. And yeah, that's all.
And we
I
encourage
hope that you enjoyed it.
and we encourage teens as well. Be yourself. Do what you love doing because there is no better time than now. Why not Why not do it now? We are the future, but we also have the present. And this was the first episode of Pirk's View with the very special guest Alma Mashkulli. Till next time, tune in.